million hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help you save time and get claims paid faster.
Good afternoon, everyone, on this last day of May 31st, a lovely Friday here for our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, sponsored by C3 Group and Merlin Law Group. Yesterday was the first of what looks to be a handful of fairly quiet days after a pretty crazy last few weeks of May here. If you're wondering, just in terms of tornadoes, not necessarily hail, I haven't looked into the hail numbers quite yet, but for tornadoes, these last 2 weeks of May have been the third most active tornado period of all time, trailing only 2004, which is notorious for having one hell of a tornado season, and the notorious 2011, which, as some of you may know, is the busiest tornado year ever. So it has been a pretty wild ride. So if you've been in need of some training, we're always here to give you some guidance to help you guys out, especially now we are a little less busy at the moment. So we are able, more than happy, to try to set up a training and get you guys well-versed with everything what the website has to offer, especially since we keep updating things and working out bugs. We want to make sure everything is great for you. So we have 3 different areas we're looking at today, and I'm only going to do a forecast for just today. We're kind of focusing on catching up on a lot of stuff here at the office, so we're just going to jump right into this, and we're going to move on, go on with our day here, and hopefully, but next week I can get a June forecast together. It's really dependent on getting all this other stuff done first. So we have 3 areas. The area with the biggest hail possible is going to be in southwestern Texas. Yet again, pretty much the same exact area as yesterday, same exact story. In the afternoon and evening hours, some storms are going to form. Probably drop up to tennis ball or even bigger size hail. I think there was softballs yesterday somewhere in the middle of the desert. 5% chance something gets to Odessa. That's really the only area I think has a real risk. A couple small towns like Pecos and Fort Stockton are there, but otherwise, if it doesn't hit Midland, Odessa, you're probably not going to see too much in the way of real hail that anyone's going to go bother to work, since there aren't too many towns out there. And we have 2 areas we're watching. I have here in North Carolina, could get interesting in a couple of hours once we get about 2 o'clock or so Eastern time. Could see some supercells forming at 5% for Raleigh, up to golf ball size hail possible with that. Those storms, the biggest hail for the strongest storms there. Man, I can't get my thoughts together here, guys. And it looks like up north, we have a 2% chance. I originally had said up to golf ball size hail. It's looking a little less favorable now. Maybe some quarters and half dollars. Very low chances. A couple other storms possible up north this evening after about 5 o'clock or so. Anyone else in Houston? Oh, somebody asked me about Houston. Can you give us a hint of how June will be? It's looking like kind of similar to May, where we're going to have a quiet period and then possibly quite a bit of activity again, except shifting north. So instead of being Oklahoma and Texas, might be Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Chicago, etc. So we will go into that when I actually look into it a little bit more, but I think it might be kind of a rinse and repeat of what May had. Maybe not as extreme, but just in a different part of the country. So that's really all we're looking at for today. You can see that future radar, see storms forming across the area here in North Carolina. Again, any of those strongest storms could have up to some golf ball size hail, or I'll be wrong, it's even bigger than that, hopefully bigger than that, all right? And further up north, again, couple storms are probably going to form late, after about 5, 6 o'clock, and pretty isolated, and it's looking pretty weak. So again, only quarter, half dollar size hail possible. You think Colorado's going to have another strong year this June or July? Asked Cody. I think Colorado last year probably had their best year ever. So I think no matter, unless we match that, which I'm having a hard time believing that will actually happen, just based off of the law of averages. You're going to have an extreme year one year. You're probably not going to repeat that extreme level, but I think it'll still be pretty active once we're finally going to warm up in Denver and get a little bit more wind blowing in the right direction to go up those mountains to give you guys some storms. So I think, June, July might be pretty typical for the Denver area, and we'll go on to that going into next week. So, and then finally here in Texas, again, probably the biggest hailstorms of the day, but they're all going to be out in the middle of nowhere over there, so you're going to be getting softball-sized hail off in the desert, so it's not going to be affecting too much. Somebody's asking about DFW. I think DFW, you have about 2 weeks left before things really, the chances of you getting any big storms is going to be pretty low. It really comes down to, so how about older maps? Give us a call and we can help you out, William Roach. So, make sure you follow us here on Facebook, hit see first, so you don't miss any of our updates. We'll probably not have a video tomorrow. I know I will not be doing a video tomorrow. I'll probably just have a post for the forecast. I think someone asked about Kansas City. I think Kansas City does have a risk. It may not be the greatest risk, but hey, you know what? That might be the day it finally actually happens, when it's not something hyped up. And I really hope we don't have big tornadoes again. I was hoping Kansas City would get a big hailstorm the other day and end up being a big tornado instead, which is unfortunate. And that's kind of the theme of this year for quite a few places. Give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have. Any interest in buying older maps or new maps or something in the future, you can give us a call and we'll be happy to help you out. Email us info@hailtrace.com for any other comments, questions, or concerns, any inquiries you may have, and visit our website. Maybe some questions will be answered just checking out our website. And follow us on Instagram as well. We do updates on there. Again, we'll be back. Might do a video on Sunday, depending on how the forecast looks. Now it'll be just the post. If not, we'll be back on Monday, or maybe live coverage if anything surprises us when you get a big storm over the weekend. So hope you guys have a great first weekend of June. Hopefully I can get that forecast together for the whole month. The next week, again, we have a lot, we're backed up on a lot of other stuff, so I'm trying to move through that before we get into the forecast. So we'll see you again next week. Have a great rest of your great weekend, everyone. I'll see you on Monday.